Hi, we're back.
Yo,
Well, yo, welcome to Yick Simulator.
potentially the final? Question mark.
Well, depends on how long we record for. Because we can speed run to the end of the year real quick if I just like go explore
Spam the A
town.
button.
Oh, I can't talk with friends anymore.
At
I
all?
can only train in the mine dungeon or go explore around town.
Wait, you're not streaming.
I'm not streaming to you,
No.
bro. I just was.
You ended it. I thought you were gonna
I
put it back
I
up.
didn't end it. You just never signed on to look at it.
It's not here.
Why? We'll fix it.
I can't fix it from my end.
Well, you better. Hello. How you doing? We're back again. He's looking now.
Yeah.
Hey, I just heard the freaking little like doo 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 like of you looking in right when I said one. You weren't looking when I asked you.
No,
Fucking liar.
there's just a delay.
Mm-hmm. There sure is a delay. You know, a whole 1 minute delay. Oh yeah, we can't talk to friends anymore because we're lonely. So we can't speed run as fast. I mean, I can technically speed run if I just go up and down my room like real quick, but then that'd be a waste of time. Well, not for us because it'd be pretty nice to just get the game over with real
Nah,
quick.
we need to grind further.
You need the full Yik experience. Oh, yeah,
Others? Side. You said there was some words.
there are some side quests. I I forget what ones are or where to go to, get them. I know you can go to Autism to like freaking check them out and like get like hints towards them. But I don't want to do that because the writing in this game is bad.
Alright. So we're just gonna wander around and grind for a bit, and then
Yeah.
just kind of backwards, forwards our way into the thing.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do all the monster dens, and then like you can. Oh yeah, like is there a guide? I know we've gone through this game.
I'm currently searching for one. It doesn't seem like there's an actual like walkthrough guide though.
Not surprised. Yeah, audience. I have seen like people talk about this game a lot, but I have played it or used a guide. Really, I mean, I think the one time we did was like for like the freaking the mine dungeon for what's her name.
I found a really old like guide for how to deal with the actual Y2K thing, like
How to-
hardware compliance, like operating system compliance. Like I found just a document.
What from
about,
like the
hey,
freaking 99?
yeah, like this is how you cover like it's talking about Windows 95 and Windows NT.
How to why you just reset your computer to 2002 to just like 1991. That's how you deal with it, right?
Yeah, a lot of it's just talking about the actual Y2K experience,
Yeah.
not the game.
They're talking about the actual YT experience in the game, which amazes me that freaking there is a plushie released for this game, but no one knows about it or cares to know about it. It's strange, don't you think?
Very. Also, the design they went for the plushie as well is not great. Like, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of like the more realistic plushie, like in terms of like
Photorealistic plushies, you're not a fan?
yeah, like the proportions and stuff. Like, unless they're like big, and at that point they're not really even a plushie. They just don't really look that great. Like, I think chibi design's just like way better as a plushie.
Oh, you can do plushies of like a realistic design. Actually, no, you kind of. I mean,
it's the proportions that get me.
I mean, I can't. You can do those designs, but at that point, just make it an action figure. Action figures, I think, are more catered towards realistic designs or like proportional designs. That's what I mean to say, proportional.
Unless the character itself is already kind of like chibi-esque. Like, you're not gonna get this at all, but like Pom Pom from Honkai Star Rail, like plushies of them is like really
Yeah,
easy because
I don't
already
know
like,
who-
small. It's like a small bunny character basically, so
Oh god.
it's easy to make a plushie out of them.
Audience, if you know who that is, put it in the comments and then go outside. Alright, why are people obsessed with, you know, the whole Genshin Impact and then the whatever the other thing they released? Is it literally just A9 girls?
No, there's some husbandos in there as well.
You know what I mean, though? Is it literally just sex appeal?
No, I wouldn't say that. I'd say it's more, especially in like Genshin Impact and the Honkai. Well, original Honkai, maybe for original Honkai. But like the newer Star Rail, like there's a few.
There was an original.
Well, the original Honkai Impact, which technically takes place in the same universe as Honkai Star Rail, but it's two very different games.
Hold on, pause.
There
was an original.
Yes.
I thought
that's still technically going on.
Huh? I thought that just kind of like crawled its way out of the void, like, you know, oozing like freaking like black ooze from like the depths.
The company is MiHoYo, and they made Honkai Impact Third, I think is what it's called, like the full name. And that was like the first game that, well, I think it's the first game they made. I'm probably wrong,
yeah.
But that's like the first big one that I know of. That one is, I'm gonna get shit for this, but it's bad.
I don't think anyone's gonna give you shit. Ironies is not gonna. I don't think.
Primarily because the story is disconnected a lot of the time. Like, there is a story there, but it has a lot of weird skips in the beginning. I know in the later like chapters it gets better in terms of like consistency, but in the beginning it just jumps a decent bit. And like whole like transitional things are just not there. And the game is just kind of broken as well a lot of the times with like audio not really.
What even is
loading.
The game though?
It is a gacha game where you play
like, what's
as...
the gameplay? Like, is it like an action game?
It's an action fighting game where you play as the gacha characters that you've gotten, and you fight in like small like arenas, and you fight the enemies, and then you move on to the next area, and then you fight the enemies in that area, and then you move on to the next area, and that's basically the game. The combat is okay, it's pretty good. Like it's kind of mindless in the beginning and like in earlier areas, but it's overall a nice time killer. The main problem I've always had with it is it's just kind of not fun early on because the level design just isn't good ever at all for like any of the main story stuff until like chapter 8 or something like that. Like the early stuff is just not great, and there's whole like chapters where it's just like weird mini games that like they try to take like the combat and controls of like moving around in the arenas and turn them into like mini games, and it's just not doesn't work very well.
So is this like Y2K levels of mini games?
No.
Like, okay, I'll show you a demonstration.
Kind of. I'm vaguely remembering this because it's been a while. I got pretty far into it.
Okay, audience, this guy has a history of remembering things very wrong.
And I remember this pretty okay because I only played it last year, I think.
Last year, then how? If it was last year, how do you not remember it very much? That's not even.
I mean, it is a year, but I quit and I tried to blank my mind of it because I got too into the game. So,
like,
yeah.
How? So, what do you mean by
I spent money? Now, thankfully, I can say I spent like sub $60 in the game. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I hope that number was like sub $10.
Like, because there was one skin there's one character I really wanted to get, and I didn't get them until hard pity. So that was not fun. I got their alternative skin that you got for like spending a certain amount of money in the event before I got the character.
Huh.
And I was so pissed about it. But anyway, Honkai Impact is not great. It's okay. Genshin Impact and Star Rail are considerably better. Just period. They're more new player friendly, kind of.
You want to do an LP of Honkai Impact?
Inazuma sucks.
You want
It just kicks your ass.
You want to do you want to do a Let's Play or play some Honkai Impact on the channel?
There's not even. What you mean the OG?
Yes.
You know,
just do it for like one video and then never go back. Because I'm curious to see what you mean by like how did you get this game and you need to spend money? Because I think they're all the same, as in like they're just all like, hey, you want to have underage men and or women in your repertoire to use.
Right. I'd say Honkai, the first one has more of that. I mean, like Genshin has a lot of.
I said no anchovies.
Has more what?
I'm trying to figure out how to word this.
If people do
MILF
actually
characters, I guess.
What?
Like older, attractive women characters
That
in like Genshin
MILF
and Honkai.
implies mother I would like to fuck. You know that, right?
Look, I'm using anime logic here. All right.
I mean cougars, as in like, you know, women that are in their 40s that are trying to, you know, pounce.
That's different terminology and doesn't really get applied to anime that much.
Right.
But does it apply? Is there any anime character that looks above the age of...
No, she's not 40.
Is there any anime character in that game that looks like they're above the age of 25?
Not really. Oh, well, a lot, if you're gonna go off that.
Alright, so... what's your definition of above the age of 25? I mean, as in, like, they don't look like freaking high schoolers.
Yeah. So, a lot, surprisingly. Not in Honkai. There's like maybe 3 in Honkai.
I'm talking about that.
Oh, 3. That's like 3.
Oh god. Like, what are you doing, Akeem? What are you doing? Do I have to put you on the register?
Recovering Honkai Impact player, alright?
Do we have to put you on the register, man? I'm telling you, because you spent almost $60 on the game trying to get a character that may or may not.
I did get that character, and it was worth it.
Why? Was it just like a good character to like use in the game?
Yes. It was the Perisher of. Oh god, I shouldn't use weird names. The Perisher of I do not remember. It wasn't the Herisher of Reason. It was a Herisher of something.
Okay,
I forget.
okay, audience. I think I found a new. Okay, so Honkai Impact on the list, as well as
Sentience.
Honkai Impact is on the list of LPs, or Honkai list tier list.
It's.
I have never played.
Tier list would take a fucking while.
I know
There's like
I
60 characters.
I know nothing of the game.
Models.
It's gonna be like this. It's going to be like It's gonna be like our. It's gonna be like the freaking Rune Factory tier list that's not been released still.
It's got a really interesting story.
I'm still waiting for you to send me the footage. When are you gonna get around to any of this? Come on, man.
What? I'll give it to you. It's like 10 gigs. I'm not sending that. That's gonna take
put it on like a freaking yellow USB stick.
All right. But yeah, Honkai, really interesting story. It just takes so fucking long to get to the story.
Is it actually a really interesting story, or is it just like...
It's a pretty interesting story.
How
and
so?
Some of the characters, like, properly interesting in terms of, like, character development.
So it's a character-driven story.
It's very much a character-driven story.
So the characters are interesting, then?
A lot of them, yeah.
How
It's
so?
just- Well, Welt is probably my most like favorite character, who is a how do I describe this so you'll understand it?
Is he a rather dapper looking individual?
So he used to run the organization that everyone worked for, but then turned on the organization to create his own sub-faction and able to, like, basically acquire the powers of the Heresher for himself, so that way he could, like, attempt to rewrite the past. Honkai is a really weird story. It's okay. It's like it's like that Key game
What?
from Disney.
You mean Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, it's like Kingdom Hearts.
Hey man, it's like that Key game, you know?
It's probably
Hey, you know the kid with the key? He swings it around, right? What's it called?
yeah. Honkai Impact is the Kingdom Hearts of anime. There is an interesting story
I thought
there.
Kingdom Hearts was the Kingdom Hearts of animes.
I mean, technically you're not wrong. But yeah,
I think I'm just a hater of animes because I don't know, they just
a little bit.
I'm just a hater, which is weird because you know I want to be an animation student and learn that, and that is just another form of medium of anime. It's an animation style in a different country. It's just that the content that I usually see or hear of, I just think it sounds really cringe. I don't know. Maybe that's just more of a fault of the creator rather than the animators.
Maybe.
Or just culture. I always say culture differences.
We got Star Rail, which is just beating everything else out of the water in terms of popularity. Which, I don't know. My biggest issue with, like, Genshin and Star Rail, less so now, but this was more back in a problem back when they were released, was there just wasn't any content. Especially for Genshin. You had 2 areas, and that was it. The first area took you maybe like an hour to complete, maybe 3 if you, like, took your time. And then the second area actually took a while. But once you were done that, they didn't release a 30 area for like a year. So there just wasn't, like, there was like the mini games and the kind of like additional like small content things that they gave us, but once you hit once you finish the gameplay part of the game in terms of like the world and the missions and all that, there just isn't anything to do until they add something, and they're just really slow about adding stuff. It's why I've only beaten the first world of Star Rail so far, is because I'm just waiting a bit for them to add more content to the game before I hit the end before I hit the wall.
Yeah, that's all modern gaming stuff, you know, just don't release the game fully, just, you know, drip feed it.
Yeah.
Which, it works, unfortunately.
Yep.
I don't know. Hey, I will say though, I am very jealous that I did not come up with that idea first. If I were a developer of video games, just drip feeding the game, making how much you can get away with releasing.
Like, how little amount of content can we release and still make a massive amount of money
And not piss people off.
Mm-hmm.
How little content can we release without pissing off people so much that they won't buy it?
And we got Genshin Impact, and that made millions, and we got Honkai Impact, and that's making multiple millions.
And I see ads about the fucking doctor thing. Okay, I'm pretty sure you knew about the game because of that one doctor and the trailer.
No, I knew about the
game
game before it even came out.
And that just gave you a hard on. I'm pretty sure.
First of all,
trailer did.
First of all, Natasha's best girl. All right.
I don't know who that is.
Don't diss Natasha.
I don't know who that is. Who is Natasha?
This is your brain on drugs.
If you're sending it to me on Discord, I can't see it right now. I'm currently getting my ass kicked by cops. Are you typing in angry rage right now? Because I can hear it over. I can hear it over the sound
Natasha
of these
is the character you saw in the trailer.
Yes.
The underworld doctor.
Hi, I'm Natasha, an underworld doctor.
First of all, best girl. Second of all, Star Rail's pretty good. Like I enjoyed everything I enjoyed every moment of me playing Star Rail. Like it was properly a fun game to just sit down and play through and enjoy the story and the interesting characters. And I like the gameplay. It's simple, but at least it doesn't feel like the button mashing, constantly switching thing that Genshin has a problem with its elemental reactions. The only problem I really had with Star Rail was the elemental system is kind of annoying to work around because on like the stronger enemies and like dungeon stuff, you really have to rely on the elemental weaknesses, otherwise you just can't easily do damage all that well. And the artifact system is still like the most important thing ever. So, because the artifacts in the game will just like quadruple your damage in some cases.
Yeah.
If you like fill them out and level them up. So it's a very grindy game, but
Kind of like this
if
one.
you just, oh yeah, probably more so than this, I'd say. But if you just play it casually, just to enjoy like the story and the gameplay and the characters, you don't really have to grind all that much. Like if at all, I think I only grinded it like for an hour. I think once. Where the fuck are you?
The K&N building.
I don't remember ever seeing this before.
I know, this is we have open world. That's why I told you to find that game. Find that guide. There's multiple endings in this game. Oh my god.
There are.
Yeah.
Right, the university. Can we even go inside here?
I
No?
don't think so, no. No, this set piece is just here, you know? Why would you want to go
Wow.
to university, man?
I'd love to see the game just cut to like a dating screen. Like the dating game, like cutscenes.
Give
we
the
have a
mixtape. Oh yeah, it's the mixtape for like the freaking the one ghost girl that we saw like way back in like.
Oh yeah, we're supposed. Were we supposed?
I think
what were we
she's.
supposed-
I think she said to not give it or some shit or like that. I don't know. I don't care. Die ghost. Everyone has received 100 experience. Oh, we gotta head home. Okay.
Bro, we did one thing.
Yeah.
All right.
We beat up a bunch of things.
Oh my god, there's so many more. I'm gonna have. All right, time to pull out every rant I've been holding back.
Hey, well, what about? I remember you're like, okay, so we've already established that Honkai Impact is gonna be on the channel. I'm gonna be the one playing it because I've never played it before, but I'm gonna make it like a really shitty like recording where like I'm gonna record like my phone. I have it down on my phone. And I'm just gonna be talking into the microphone like that. I will get a camera, like you'll use my web camera, put it on the freaking ground, and then record my phone, be playing my phone.
I don't even know if your
10
phone
minutes.
could handle it.
Bro, like
It's a phone game, yeah, but I haven't gotten a phone that will run it yet. Then again, I have kind of shit phones.
you have like you have phones from like 2001.
That's I have a more modernish phone.
Yeah, like you have a smartphone. Yes, you do. So it's good. You have a smartphone, but I think you have like the freaking.
It's like an LG Stylo 4 or something.
I don't know. Hey, someone in the comments can probably tell him how broke he is. So do in the chat.
I just haven't seen the need to getting a fancy phone yet. I'm going to need to eventually. Like, as much as I don't like iPhones, primarily just because of how expensive they are, I probably will eventually have to get one for the camera.
Yeah.
Like later down the line.
But yeah, the Honkai Impact is coming never. Well, coming eventually. For all
Eventually.
you, and I'm register having freaking pedosexual fans. I salute you. I should probably cut that out when I edit this. I know. We're right now, until I learn how to edit, everything's on the bigger, longer, and uncut. But if I ever get an editor or learn how to edit properly, that's probably getting edited out. As well as me acknowledging editing this out. Or I'm going to keep it in, so that way people will wonder, oh wait, oh my god, what do you edit out? I don't know.
Well, then they have to check the
Double the
bigger,
views.
longer
Double the views, bro.
uncut edition to see what content was cut out.
Yeah, double the views, bro. Can I go up these? Hey, I can cross the road, yay. I'm just trying to find all the dens. Like, there's an open world here. It's just that you never go to anywhere of it.
There's also not much of a reason to
honestly, you don't really explore the overworld much at all.
I'm gonna say, playing this game just makes me want to make a better game.
I'm playing it. I'm playing it, you're not.
But watching you play this.
Yeah, we can do better. I mean, granted, again, I think I said this like a bunch of times, but like, yeah, this game had a lot of development issues.
This was in development hell for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, they just had outside experience, outside factors have caused it to be in developmental hell. So I can't blame the game developers for that. You know, but I will say that the product you released is kind of shit. Like, have we said this game is shit? I don't think we have yet.
I think we have at least once. I don't know. There's interesting ideas.
I'm being sarcastic.
Oh.
I don't know. Have we said this game is shit enough? I don't think so, man.
I don't think we've said this game is shit at all. I mean, I think we've only been praising it so far.
I mean, yeah. Look at this grass in the snow. It's all green. Look at all the green in winter.
All right, you know what? I can't give him shit for that because a lot of newer, like even AAA, well, I don't want to say AAA, but like AA level of games have some kind of shit grass textures.
No, I'm talking about how it's winter, like midwinter,
oh, right,
and it's still freaking bright green.
I didn't even notice that. I don't know. I've kind of been like blanking out the season changes.
I mean, yeah, this game doesn't really do anything with that. Like, there's a lot of these places to explore, quote unquote explore, but there's nothing to find. Like, I can't go into the store; it just opens up a shop. Like, wouldn't it be cool if I could at least just go into the store?
Yep, and then have like a weird side quest in the back room.
I mean, yeah, that would be cool. I wasn't thinking of that, but that actually could be cool too. Yeah, but like something like that. But like, no, you can't.
Especially given like the weird and wacky aspect of the enemies in this game. Like, I don't know. Maybe go on like an adventure through like the fast food joints, like back rooms.
Oh man, this gotta be deep in. This gotta be really deep game, man.
You know, eventually fighting like I don't know, Mr. Hamburger Helper himself.
Yeah.
Like there's just such like in a game like this, there's a lot of really cool things you could do for wacky side quests in like a weird and wacky world that just aren't done,
which is confusing because what's that content being replaced with? I don't even know. The story, maybe?
Monologues.
Monologues in the story, I assume. Like I look around, where's the content? It's here somewhere.
I feel like it was removed.
I think it was. It actually was.
Like, this game feels like a lot, especially when I looked at the original like trailer and stuff for this. Just feels like a lot of content has just been removed.
And it was. I'm not sure why, but it was. Yeah, I'm just going around the monster dungeons and just doing a bunch of shit. But yeah, oh yeah, remember we were talking about before the recording, I know you said like, hey, Nintendo consoles and all that junk, am I right, guys?
Yeah, I was talking about how I wasn't really sure what Nintendo was going to do next, because the Switch is kind of really good, and just, like, do they make a console next? But why would they do that when they already have the Switch? Can they make another handheld? They already have the Switch. So, just an upgraded Switch is going to be next. And it would kind of be weird for to do another generation and change the game format. Because they're not super... They don't usually do that.
They haven't used discs since the Wii U. I mean, I don't think they've ever used DVDs.
I don't know.
Or even...
I don't know what the Wii games run on.
I think technically run a specific type of CD. Because there's no DVD drive for either the Wii or the Wii U, I don't think.
Yeah. No, I think the Wii U has Blu-ray, doesn't it?
I mean, you can look it up real quick. I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
Because, the Wii and the Wii U had disc, the DS had the cartridges, and now we have the Switch. So it's do they reinvent the wheel again, or do they just do what they did with the DS and just make a better version of what they already have with backwards compatibility to the Switch?
I mean, they try to do that. They try to do that. They try to do that with the Wii U, and
I don't know. The OLED is not an upgrade.
I mean, they try to do that with the Wii U, and
the Wii U was just kind of weird in terms of marketing and the naming convention. Because from what I understand, a lot of people just thought the Wii U was an expansion to the Wii and not its own thing, which I find hard. I don't understand how that many people got that confused.
Casuals.
Yeah.
If you wanted to be a hardcore gamer, you just get it Xbox or PlayStation.
Yeah, there just wasn't much of a reason to get a Wii U. What was on the Wii U?
Well, there was good software. It's just that there was good software on there. It's just that there wasn't if you wanted hardcore games, it was released during the time of a lot of hardcore games first-person shooters, third-person shooters, Grand Theft Autos and stuff like that. All those AAA games were released on the consoles or the computer.
And that was still console war-ish era. Late console war, but still kind of. Oh, give me a second.
What? You about to throw, bro? Look at all these bats. Alright, well. I was thinking. Well, at least when we had the conversation, actually, audience. I was the one who kind of suggested, well, yeah, where are you gonna go from here? Because for the other consoles, it's kind of easy. Just it was kind of an easy answer. Just all right, we're just gonna make a better console or make a more advanced console. And for the most part, I think that's worked out. I don't know. I don't know how many sales PlayStation or Xbox Series X have had, but I imagine they're similar correlation to how they were for their previous ones. But for the Nintendo consoles, they were really weird, at least in that they kind of have grown away from the mold, or just conventional, making just a better console. They kind of got away from that, just going with gimmicks, or specific things about the console, which is good. It's worked out for them, but where do you go from here? Because you've kind of combined your two outlets of console design, home and portable, but combined them together, which is great, and it worked out great. But now it's just okay, where do you go from there? Do you release a portable, or do you release just a console? And if you do, what's the difference? What's going to be the difference for the console? Is it going to have the same you can dock it, or you can freaking play it portably? Is it just going to be more powerful console? What's it going to do? Is it still going to have motion control things like that?
I'm back.
Oh hey, yeah, I was talking with the audience about junk.
I heard a little bit of what you said, and I know they wouldn't do this, but a more powerful dock would be interesting. You dock the Switch, and then you have access to a more powerful hardware to play the game at a higher frame rate or better graphics.
That sounds cool, but it's also I don't think that's possible because the console is the Switch itself, not the dock.
Yeah, I don't know how. Like, you couldn't do it for the Switch. I doubt it. I highly doubt that would even be
I know you can
possible.
get like expansion slots effectively. That's kind of like how expansion like modules, which aren't really a thing anymore. I mean, they're a thing in like the 90s and the 80s, like expansion modules for consoles, but those aren't really a thing anymore. And I don't think Nintendo's gonna bring that up because that kind of just only really you get your sales from people who are already in that who are already in your consumer base rather than drawing in new ones. That's what expansion ports do. You don't really buy an expansion slot or an expansion port for a console. You don't really buy an expansion port and then get a console. You have the console and then decide if you want an expansion port.
Yeah, I'd say most likely a Switch, not a Switch 2, they're not going to call it that, but like a...
Switch DOS.
Yeah, like a different design for the controllers probably, maybe a different design for the screen, still having the same cartridge design, so it has backwards compatibility with the Switch games.
Honestly, I think they should just go to...
power.
I think...
Like what the 3DS did. The 3D Switch.
You just want a 3DS. So let's just say
No,
it.
no,
You just
no.
want a DS again. You want the DS3.
I mean,
You want the DS4.
I like the DS again. We're not getting the DS again. Well, I mean, that's what the Switch is. It just doesn't have as many...
It's not a DS because it doesn't have two screens. It has one.
I mean, yeah. It's the 1S.
Or, the Switch. It's the 1S, the screen.
But, like, it just wouldn't make sense to reinvite the wheel again. At least not this soon after the Switch, anyway.
I mean, the Switch has been out since 2017. So right now, it's like it's a 6-year-old console going on 7.
So it's like either it'll be something completely new, and they'll stun the audience again, or it'll just be the Switch, a more powerful version of the Switch with like, I don't know, Joy-Cons that don't stick drift and like don't kind of get wobbly every now and again when it's docked. Like slightly better ergonomical like Joy-Cons. I don't know.
Alright, here's what I think.
I feel like at the very least it'll have backwards compatibility to Switch games.
Okay, here's what I think it will be. The Switch is going to effectively replace portables. Like when a new console releases for Nintendo, they use it. The Switch is going to be the portable thing now.
Mm-hmm.
And the new console, I think, will still have backwards compatibility with the Switch console unit, but it won't be portable.
Okay. So you're thinking
They'll split
a backwards compatible
back up again.
desktop game.
They don't use desktops. They're thinking computers. Console.
Console.
Yeah, like home console.
Alright.
Sorry if that sounded dickish. But okay, so what I'm trying to effectively say is that I think they'll be going down the route of having the Switch be the portable and then their new console be the home console. Like they split it up again, so that way they can still keep the Switch and just like rebrand it as, okay, now this is the portable unit. This is the portable. Why am I in here? There's the portable thing, and then so that way they can still keep their Nintendo Switch sales going, and then just like market, okay, hey, we got this new thing. Now, in terms of what I think they'll do with that home console, I'm not sure. In terms of gimmicks, I'm not sure. In terms of what it should be, I think they should probably. I think they should just go full on digital, because from the looks of it, that's kind of where things are going. People just want digital things because they're like, oh, I don't care about putting the disc in. So
I don't know.
It'd make their consoles cheaper to just have.
It'd make their consoles cheaper, and it would also make their cost cheaper as well because they don't need to produce the cartridges. But I don't know. I still like cartridges. I'm not a huge disc collector anymore. Like, I'm basically only collecting PlayStation 2, kind of. And I don't know. I still really love collecting cartridges though.
Yeah. I mean, like I like you kind of already know, man. I've been collecting for the original Xbox as of recently. One day I just woke up and decided, hey, you know what? I just want to collect for original Xbox. So right now I have like 36 games. I have a lot. But yeah, I do think that if they're going,
It would make sense, but it
because
would be
at this
sad.
point, what do discs even do? Because you still have to download the game.
Yeah, especially on consoles. Like, there's not much of a reason to have discs anymore.
I'm guessing the reason for that is primarily for just familiarity. People are familiar. Your average consumer is familiar with like inserting a disc or a cartridge, rather
And
than, you know, just downloading things digitally.
and also keeps third-party sale, second-party sales going, like Walmart, GameStop. Like if you go to only digital,
Well, they can have they can have distribution codes. Like, you know, that's how I got freaking like Minecraft the second time for like a console. They literally just like they had that box. They had a box, and then in the box was empty. They just had a receipt in the box. They said, okay, here's the code. Don't lose it. So they can do that.
Yeah, they can still do that. I don't think many people really do that.
Yeah, I know. So I think that's probably where they would go, or they would go. That's where I think they would go in terms of by what format is their system going to use. It would be nice if they switched to discs, but honestly, like discs aren't even really
That
used.
great anymore.
They aren't even used because most of the games you have to download anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there are discs that are cheap enough and hold enough storage to produce to just be able to load it anymore. Because, you know, games are like hundreds of gigabytes, and you're like freaking...
Yeah. Like AAA stuff still has problems, but I'd say a lot of like not AAA stuff could still work on discs.
That makes sense, but they're not able to manufacture. Because if you're an indie developer, you're not manufacturing shit, you don't have the money for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, at least that's where I think things will go. I'm gonna end the day. Yeah, like, it would be nice to have discs, or even go back to like where they're doing with the cartridges and things like that. Or like, they're not cartridges; they're more like SD cards.
Well, kind of. I don't know what the exact. I think the Switch ones use NAND flash, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's SD cards. They look like them. Or like the little mini SD cards because they're like freaking tiny.
They use non-volatile flash memory. They use NAND flash.
Yeah, but again, you still have to download the game and have the cartridge. So it's like it's really nice to have discs in like, you know, SDs, but it's also just like they don't really do anything because you still have to have space in your hard drive to download the game.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the point in having the game physically?
I mean, at the current moment, collectors, like, for the Switch, I'd rather buy the cartridge version of the game rather than the digital version, just because I like collecting the little chips. But you know, practically speaking, it makes way more sense to buy digitally because then you can just have it all stored in an SD card and then just take it with you. You can just take your entire game collection with you wherever you go instead of having to carry the cartridges with you. Like, portably, digital just makes more sense. For consoles, discs and cartridges still kind of make sense because you're not really moving your console around at all. But yeah, what you're saying with the whole, like, games are just so big nowadays, primarily because we keep pushing graphics further and further and further for some reason.
Come on, you gotta see the individual pores and hairs on your ass crack, man. Come on.
4K gaming is stupid. I don't get it.
Tell your tangent on 4K gaming.
It's stupid. Okay, 4K only makes some sense on huge, like, on really, really big TVs, and that's just so that way the pixels, the screen doesn't look as blurry when the screen is that large. But even then, 4K is stupid. We don't need 4K for gaming, especially PC 4K gaming. You cannot see 4K on a fucking 14-inch monitor.
It's a marketing ruse.
Can't see it. Like 1440p is fine. It's good. You don't need any more than that. Like even 1080p is still, in my opinion, really, really good for most games. Like AAA titles, yeah, 1080p looks a bit weird every now and again, but it's not that bad. But I don't know. 4K TVs make sense. I just don't see the point in 4K gaming being pushed so hard as it is.
Come on, it's the future of gaming. You gotta.
I'd rather the game run well and look like stylized than.
Is 4K just this generation's version of like 3D TVs?
Not kind of. I wouldn't say it's like it's a bigger fad than 3D, and there's some like reason behind 4K because like it does look better. It does look better. It's just there's not really a point to doing it, really, unless you just really want it to look just that little bit better on TV screens.
Okay, you're a PC master race yourself, man. Like you like anything that's not 60 frames a second. Like I think you say like, bro, this is ass.
Okay, yeah, well, 60 FPS gaming is just nice nowadays. Like, 30 FPS looks fine, but it feels choppy to me now. Especially since I play a lot of shit I do at 144 hertz or 144 frames per second now, and that's just so smooth. And when I go back to 30 FPS, it's like,
You sound like such a freaking asshole when you say that. When you say it like that, you sound like such an asshole.
But sometimes I don't notice it. Like whenever I play like a few games on like I don't think the Switch does 60. I think the Switch does 30, and I don't mind that at all on the Switch. Like I just haven't noticed it. It's just like I don't know. Minecraft is a weird example. I played Minecraft on my Series X, and it just feels slow compared to playing it on my PC. In terms of like the FPS, and it's like I looked into it. I'm pretty sure it's just for some reason Minecraft has not been optimized for the Switch yet. I mean, not the Switch, for the Series X. It's not Xbox. It's not Series X and S optimized, and I don't know why. It just isn't. It's Microsoft. It's one of Microsoft's biggest selling titles, and it has not been optimized for their console yet. And it's just
the Bedrock Edition just feels bad to play because it has to be run on every. It has to be able to run on every single system it's released on.
I will say Bedrock on PC runs really well.
It runs better than Java.
It runs way better than Java because Java is it's a calculator. It's not really designed to run games at all. Like it runs super well. That's why I really wish the modding scene for Bedrock was better, and like the mods that are made for Bedrock are pretty solid. Like some of them are. I don't mind that. I don't mind supporting the developers. The main
Alex Yiik.
Between the end of that strange winter.
All right, I'm gonna finish my tangent real quick. The main problem I have is you cannot have more than one mod enabled at one time. The mods are tied to the worlds, and if you want to use the mod, you have to play in that world. So you can't use two at the same time. That's my biggest problem.
You have to buy it again if you want to play
it. So the mod is tied to the world. So you buy the world and you play in that world. But let's say you want to add in like steampunk airships into your dinosaur-themed mod world. You just can't. There's no way of doing that. The steampunk airships are tied to a world that was made by the developer of the mod, and there's no way of like moving over content or combining content. Biggest issue with Bedrock, if they fix that, I'd play Bedrock all the time. It'd probably be the only game probably be one of the games I play like most of the time if that was the case. But they just don't, and it's weird.
Huh.
Bedrock is this close to being the best version of Minecraft. It's close.
Yeah, I'll tell you how I feel after the Alex Yiik up at this place.
The day would dawn and I would repeat my alternation of spending time with my friends and honing my powers in the mine dungeon.
Hey, we're level 49. We're almost level 50. Let's go.
Rain
We hone our powers.
December's uncharacteristically warm, sweaty days only added to the anxiety I was feeling about New Year's Eve.
December is not fucking warm.
Hey, the last December was, it didn't start snowing until like February.
Aside
Well,
from the
yeah.
weather, there was hardly anything to distinguish one day from the next. Each day we trained, we hung out, we read the newspapers, we read about deaths, shootings, kidnappings, bombings. I worked at concentrating my attention on the real and useful.
Like deaths, shootings, kidnappings, and bombings.
Even with all my friends,
Well, perhaps not
every
useful,
now and
but
then
most certainly
there was
real.
one stab of loneliness.
Well, I didn't realize this, but whenever he talks, like his like upper shoulders and head like shifts up and down slightly. I just realized that. Yeah, like it's like they move. They got the JPEG, Alex.jpg, in like Photoshop and just like up and down like his shoulders to make it look like he's talking. Like, look at it real quick.
The very water I drank, the very air I breathed.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that.
felt
But
like long, sharp needles.
I mean, I guess it adds like a little bit of
I could hear the roots of loneliness.
animation to the
I don't remember
characters.
him ever doing that.
4 o'clock in the morning.
That, yeah. I mean, we can check. We can look back at the tapes later.
You can look back at the look at the videos. Yeah, audience.
Maybe they did update.
Hey, audience, was this always in the game? Tell me in the comments.
Christmas was coming. And then, in a few days, the world might end. Could I really be the end?
Bro, can we fight Santa Claus? Can we go fight in St. Nicholas or like any Christmas themed bosses?
Can we find a drunk Santa at the parking lot?
So much. All of my friends, my mom, even my sister.
So wait, sister. Wait a minute.
Yeah, he
Alex has a sister?
Yeah, he said that in the beginning. We just never seen her.
Oh, that's it. All right.
Oh, you can't talk to. Okay, you just wasted my day. Okay. Okay, you just wasted my day. Huh. All right then. Anyway, about Minecraft.
Yeah.
I remember like the ports that were done initially for like Xbox 360, Xbox One, and all like consoles. They were designed specifically for the console. That's why they ran so good, and they felt right.
Mm-hmm.
Like I enjoyed those versions of the consoles of Minecraft so much more that whenever Bedrock came out, and I played it for like 5 minutes. It felt bad to play.
Yeah, but
It didn't
Bedrock
feel-
is kind of
It didn't feel good.
weird
to
on
play.
console.
It did not feel good to play. Like it felt off. Felt wrong. Controls didn't feel good. I don't know, just intangibles. And as well, crafting is a pain in the ass too, because you have to like use the thing.
Yeah.
And I now knew mainly just because my Bedrock had to work for everything.
Mm-hmm.
It had to work for everything, even phones, in order for you
Yeah.
to have that crossplay.
Honestly, I think doing the phones is stupid. I don't. Who plays Minecraft on their phone? Like
A lot of 5-year-olds, who can't afford a console.
yeah, but the phone edition worked fine. Pocket was fine. Why did we need crossover with Pocket?
Inclusivity.
Fuck inclusivity. I prefer.
Clip that real quick.
Wait a minute. Wait, that's
And,
not...
and we're gonna go on break real quick. All right. If you hear FBI agents in the distance, you know why. Okay, so let's go on a quick break and leave it at that before you explain yourself. All right. See ya.